everybody, I'm Manorama and this is Sanskrit Studies and Luminous Soul Corner, and I want to welcome you all here today. Today we are going to talk about the Atmabodha, and I want to work with you on verse 48. The Atmabodha is a text by a very famous Sanskritist named Adi Shankaracharya, and he is the author of the Atmabodha. The Atmabodha means the text on self-knowledge. And when I was first introduced to this text, I was a very young girl and I didn't even know such texts existed. I had no idea there was a thing called the Atmabodha. It was a text on self-knowledge. So there was a whole book about the self, or a whole set of hymns, and that somebody wrote it in Sanskrit and all that. I didn't even know what Sanskrit was at the time, but of course that was many moons ago, and I studied this language and spent time with my teacher, and he loved this text so much. In fact, the first time I heard it, he was singing it somebody was playing a tape, and I heard it, and I was riveted. What is that sound? Who's singing? And one of my fellow students at the time, one of my gurubai, they said, that's our teacher, and he's singing the Atmabodha, the text on self-knowledge, and these are Sanskrit verses. So it had this huge impact on me. Anyway, I'd like to chant this verse with all of you. And then, let me see if I can get this held up properly. So I need my glasses. So I'll chant the verse, and then you chant the verse, and then we'll chant it together, and we'll look at meaning. Here we go. We'll start with an Om. Om. So now me. Atmai Vedang Jagat Sarvam. Now you. Atmai Vedang Jagat Sarvam. Atmano Jnana Vidyate. Atmano Jnana Vidyate. Mrido yadvad ghatadini. Mrido yadvad ghatadini. Svatmanang sarvam ikshate. Svatmanang sarvam ikshate. Together. Atmai Vedang Jagat Sarvam. Atmano Jnana Vidyate. Mrido yadvad ghatadini. Svatmanang sarvam ikshate. Om. Let's just take one moment of silence after the chanting. And just to feel the vibration of Sanskrit. Healing, calming, and at the same time awakening and energizing, the unique factor in Sanskrit. Okay, so let me read the meaning that my teacher gives. Shri Brahmananda Saraswati. If you don't have this, you can order this from sanskritstudies.org. You can just send us an email if you're interested to get it. Just send us an email at sanskritstudies.org. Okay, so this is my teacher's translation of this beautiful text, and he says, Shankaracharya says, and my teacher's translation, this entire universe is nothing but Atman. The light of the self is Atman, everybody. This is self-knowledge, self-awareness. Whatever is perceived through the senses is none other than Atman. Everything is the light of the self. Just as pots and jars of clay are verily clay, and cannot be anything other than clay, ultimately speaking, so too, to the enlightened one, all that is perceived through the senses is nothing but Atman, which is the ultimate cause of the entire universe. So how do we understand this Atman? Well, this Atman is the luminous soul that I speak about. It means highest self. And this we access when we transcend the thinking mind. And when we remain still, we can feel that deep silence, that pure being beyond thought, beyond mind, beyond the body, and that we all are. So this week, as you work with the verse, you can play the video over again and practice chanting, and you can write it out. And you can also contemplate its meaning. That just as when we look at clay pots, they're all clay, even though they take different shapes and sizes, so too for the enlightened one, and we want to have the vision of the rishis, we want to have the vision of the enlightened ones, and so too when the enlightened ones truly perceive, they see nothing but the light of the self. They see Sheila, but they see Sheila as the light of the self. They see David, he's the light of the self. They see the computer, they see the bus, they see the animal. Everything is the light of the self, including ourselves. Okay, so I want you to just let that be a contemplation throughout the week. Maybe you're just walking down the street and you catch the thread of that sort of insight, and you go, oh, even this is light of the self. This is Atman, just as the Atmabodha said. And then you're washing the dishes. You're like, are these dishes Atman? Is the vision of my seeing Atman? And rather than it being neti, which is not this, it's a reverse approach, which is everything is the light of the self. Anything and everything I see. But it's the same idea. Either you are the nothing or you are the everything. And in this verse, it's saying the light that you are, the supreme, is everything. And anything that you perceive is ultimately that self. And it's quite beautiful. So you can practice that this week and enjoy your exercise. And I look forward to seeing you in class again soon. Be blessed, everybody. And remember, you are a luminous soul. Bye, everybody.